All right, now get out of my office. Nemuro, you stay.
All right. Step out of the office.
Okay.
Do not go very far.
Okay. Are you like eavesdropping on their conversation?
Chotto.
Chotto. Okay.
Yeah.
We should, for Nemo, we should probably have him mention Gavlon, since she's so strict about the money. We kind of owe him money.
We promised him money. There's a difference.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. We don't necessarily need to touch what we've already given to her, because there was plenty more where that came from, as I seem to recall. And
If we can get Houndrel here.
well, we have sent a letter.
He sent a letter.
So yeah, if
Did
Houndrel
any
can
of
show
you
up,
write
then-
that letter? I forget.
No, because it was Nemril, and Nemril's letter was Gavlon is coming.
That's it? Okay, cool.
Gavlin is coming,
Cool.
and that would be enough for Houndrel.
Okay. So when we schoolboys, at some point, Houndrel will get this letter. So Saloon and Nemril are like alone in the office, and she says, and like you all have left and closed the door behind you. She says, all right, Nemril, look, this little scouting mission, I want you to make sure that the rest of them, Addie in particular, don't go too crazy if you run into trouble. Unless it's demons, in which case definitely go crazy. But if it's just bandits or squatters or something, try to solve things non-violently. The last thing that we need as a clan is to make new enemies. Doesn't matter how petty or small they are. We've got enough on our plate as. Can I trust you with that?
Yes, that shouldn't be a problem.
Now, I know I can trust you with that. You're the level-headed one.
I actually had something that I wanted to bring up with you as well.
I'm all ears.
I'm sure you've noticed that little orphan girl that's been running around the garrison for about a year.
Saloon looks confused.
No? Okay.
Which little orphan girl?
Her name is Resni.
Which little orphan girl? I don't know their names, Nemoril. I'm busy.
I understand. But this one in particular,
She has a name, you see.
she has a name, you see.
She's a named character.
Named character. We, Kamina and myself, have taken an interest in attempting to keep her taken care of as much as possible. And recently it came to my attention that she was malnourished. She's not been getting enough to eat because the jerky it's too tough for her to properly eat. So I would like to request an allowance be made in our trading with the Sarkoth, acquiring of fruits, nuts, such things, so that she doesn't starve to death in our absence.
Saloon takes a deep breath and sighs deeply. Nemoril, I don't know if you've noticed, but outside of the garrison, there are lots of orphaned children, and all of them are malnourished. They're only eating a little bit worse than the regular members of our clan. We don't have the money. Like, sure, we have a big pile of it right now, but the next time that you and I don't have any idea how long Houndrel and Kazna are going to be gone. I don't know when they're going to be back. And I know that you're not going to stay. And I know Addie Marca isn't going to stay either. When you leave, we don't know when you're coming back. I don't know how we're going to make more money. The crab sales have diminished. We don't have anything else to replace them with. Not right now, anyway. I'm busy trying to figure out a way to keep the clan making more money than we spend, or at least breaking even. There are lots of places that some money could do some good around here. And there's lots of people who could benefit from better food. I can't justify carving out an allowance for one particular orphan, just even if it's because the champion of the clan has taken a liking to her. I know that must be hard to hear, but that's my decision as Ilhar. I have to put the needs of everyone equally, not just the needs of a particular orphan girl. So no, I'm not going to be giving an allowance, setting aside money for fruits and nuts specifically for this orphan.
Well, I suppose I'll just have to solve your problem then. All right. Have a nice day. I leave.
Okay. When you open the door, what does Nimaril see as soon as he opens the door to Sulu's office?
Us falling forward because our ears was on it.
It's exactly what
I don't
was
think I'm
thinking.
allowed to lean on the door.
No,
You will break it.
just Sylvia and Addie.
Sulu looks. It's just sighs deeply.
Stand up, bow deeply, walk away.
Nope, I didn't stand up on all fours. I'm crawling away.
Crawling shamefully out of camera view.
All right.
Kind of ironic, don't you think? Sulu counting on Nimril to be the non-violent one.
She didn't say non-violent. She
She
said
did.
level-headed.
She said,
Okay, she didn't say that Nimril was non-violent, but non-violent was a word she used, and it was the task she entrusted specifically to Nimril.
Yes. Yes, this is true. You remember how Nimaril promised to bring everybody back alive and that? Sulu trusts him to do what he says.
That's true.
and it's not like that was an easy task.
Let's
Yeah.
do our best efforts.
Kazna.
See, I don't know why you would stake your reputation on Kosna's survival. That just seems ill-advised.
And yet,
It was ill-advised, but I came through.
yeah. So, little
As
bit
the
of-
one who has had to spend the most direct opportunities saving Kosna from himself, excuse you. Have any idea how many baths I had to take to get that stank off me?
Do you know how many times Houndrel has had to save Costa?
It's like when somebody opens up a can of
Don't
deer
actually
moss.
It's a combo. The fact that Houndrel can't save Costa is a combo that we have. Like, we have banked on the fact
Oh yeah,
that
that's
Costa
right.
can take massive amounts of damage.
Like, Kosna's inside out again. Again. Oops.
Oops. Okay,
Yeah.
so what do now?
We collect Yarp.
You find Yarp at the one Umarth farm. He is, whenever you walk up, you see him wearing a flat, wide-brimmed leather hat, and clearly he's wearing suspenders now. Not a shirt, just suspenders.
Well then. Classy.
Yeah, he has fully re-embraced the pastoral life. And he stands up whenever all of you show up. And is like, Yarp,
Hello, Yarp.
Who is this?
Yarp.
I think I understand the name.
This is Yarp.
He sticks his hand out shaking hands.
Oh, it's good to see your arms doing better, Yarp.
Yarp.
I'll shake his hand. Nimril, I introduce myself.
Yarp.
Yarp, yes.
So, Yarp, you're coming with us. We're kidnapping you.
Yarp.
We're going on an adventure.
Yarp.
That's
This
right.
time we promise your arm probably won't get broken.
Yarp.
We're going north to go see if we can find some more farmland.
Yarp.
I also know that Yarp can say more words than just Yarp.
Okay,
But he
yes.
chooses not to.
But
Yeah.
Nemeril
Emerald doesn't know this. Alright, let's go.
He nods.
Alright.
So how have the farms been, Yarp? You doing well?
He goes, yeah. I'm sorry. I can't keep this joke up.
Damn it, I thought I wanted to see if you could get through the whole day.
I don't think I could, to be honest. I just thought I was gonna pull this serious looking one's leg for a bit.
Well, you had me going for a while.
Oh, that's Gron. That's Gron. Anywho, the farm's been a farm. To be honest, haven't been able to do much with it. Just grows as much as it did the day I started with it.
What do you need to make it more productive?
More land, to be honest.
Well, I'll get you what you
You're
need.
in luck.
That is what we're hoping to find.
Oh, good. Good. We just wandering about then. Trying to
Sort of.
find any wick dirt.
Well, we
Sort
were
of the
actually-
idea.
We were actually I was gonna ask you for your help on that. Sulun said that the closer you get to the Mist Sea, the worse the land becomes for farming.
That's true. All sandy and silty. Normally that'd be grand, but full of nutrients and all that. But the sand's just too loose. Can't grow anything in it, but occasionally some grasses. That's
Maybe
if you have and that's if you had sunlight enough, which we don't in this part of the Underdark.
Maybe we can get some people to bring it over as fertilizer, something like that.
He scratches his chin. You could do something like that. But first you'd have to find first we need just enough space with enough dirt to grow some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Problem with this whole area is that used to be, well, he gestures vaguely at all of the ruined buildings, places where people lived, shops and the like. That's what it all looks like. All of these roads we're walking on, he kicks the stone beneath him. This was built specifically not to be farmland. They either moved the dirt or packed it down hard enough and walked on it until it was useless.
So if we knock down a few buildings, we'd make more space?
Space, yeah. Dirt, no. Not unless you decided to, I don't know, use earth sorcery, but a lot of it.
You'd
Or
basically
something?
need to churn the entire ground then to loosen up the dirt. That way you could plant stuff in it. Is that what you're saying?
Something like that. Look, he leans over and scoops a handful of rock out of the ground. He's using earth sorcery to loosen the rock, and just scoops out a handful of it. Then he kneads it between both palms really hard for a few minutes. And he works up a decent he's starting to sweat just a tiny bit and breathe. And then opens up his hands, and you can see that he's kneaded this rock into coarse sand with there's still a few mediums, little chunks of rock, but it's a little flakes of the rock. He's basically this, but more so. And then you need to add water and probably some kind of fertilizer, dead plant matter or compost or manure.
Does rotting flesh work for that?
Oh yeah, all meat leftovers would work all right. You didn't need to wait a while. Gotta let it properly rot, but eventually you could compost it.
So restoring the dirt in a place like this would be possible, but a lot of work.
He nods. But if we find some place that has some dirt, like your patch of land back in the clan, that will be much easier to turn into a viable farm. It's just a question of finding it.
Any ideas? Do you have any suggestions of where a good place might be to look?
Fuck no, I'm not from around here.
Well, I guess we start walking. Do you have to, I don't know, change, put on some traveling clothes?
No, I'm fine.
Could get dicey. Do you have any weapons you'd like to bring?
He pulls out knives from inside of the overalls.
Houndrel would like you.
That's what it is. Overalls, not suspenders. Overalls.
Houndrel would like you.
I thought he already did.
Oh, you've
I
met.
thought Houndrel and I were mates.
I'm sorry. This is the first time. I've even heard of you. These people don't talk. about anyone else, it seems.
Oof.
Oof.
Nimril, I talk about other people all the time. I just don't give them names usually.
Also, how many of them are actual people?
I
Yeah,
was about
well,
to say the exact same thing.
How many
That's
of
for
them are
me to
actual-
know and you to guess.
See what I have? Just gesture at her. That's to say, see what I have to work with.
Yarp gives you a sympathetic look and then puts the knives back in his overalls.
All right. Well, if you're ready, let's
Let's
go.
go.
So you still walk in, just kind of I don't know, give me an arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go this
Eh?
way.
Wait, we're going
No.
this way. I thought we were going this way.
Oh
Well,
my god.
We said
There's
north,
so
but
many
I think we
arrows.
should check here. Because
Just so we don't have a Tetris block. We aren't the worst Tetris block.
I mean, like, how smart is it to have like, oh, we have a bunch of food and farm here, then our army and everyone else is down here.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Positionally, I can understand that.
I mean,
Alright,
you know,
so
if
I don't
there's
think we
nothing
have-
over here and the farms end up being over here, then we'll just have to move some forces up here. But, you know, I'm just thinking we should check here first because me and Addie have gone this way, as you can see.
We found a well. Sorry, we made a well.
Yeah,
Made it well.
made it. So yeah, I was thinking this way. I guess that's my vote.
Sure.
My vote is either of these look pretty good. They are away from the water, which is important. So yeah, let's go this way first. Let's go to southeast Umarth.
You know, for possibly the first time in history, having more waterfront territory is less desirable.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
That's what
That
I was
can't be
thinking.
right.
Yeah.
We're doing something terribly wrong.
It's the lack of sunlight. Like, Underdark agriculture does not work like surface world agriculture.
Yeah.
Down here, at best, the beaches of the Mist Sea are probably very nutritious, like, once you get past the sand. But, this area that you guys are living in, the Badlands, the worst lands,
Mhm.
whatever, used to be heavily populated and quite dense, much like the more populated, like, dense areas like the Sharan and Beldrabayan and Sargress districts, but not built up as vertically. So a lot of this area was buildings, housing, shops, that kind of stuff. That means that a lot of the areas that could have been viable farmland were built on top of and not used for growing food. The beaches along the Mist Sea well irrigated, no doubt, might have very nutritious soil once you get past the sand. But since there's no sunlight down here, instead of neglect turning it into, if you imagine like a lakefront property on like Lake Michigan or something, imagine like leaving that disused for over a year.
Where it gets all grown over.
It would get all grown over. Down here in the Underdark,
It
at
turns back
best,
into a cave.
it's still just a fucking cave. At best, you get like some lichen or some moss or some fungus growing. But that does not turn this back into like wild, untamed, pristine land. There's not as much of the like cycle of growth, death, decay that builds up good soil. And there's no plants that like can grow to prevent soil erosion along the coast. So all of this is just any soil that was there gets washed out down to the bare rock and then built over with sand. So like the real food source from living on the coast is fishing. And your clan gets a lot of the food that it brings in from catching crabs. Your fishing operation has not, like, another viable option for increasing the food supply of Clan Umarth would be to build boats and make nets and start
Mhm.
fishing for things that are not just crabs. But that is a different kind of investment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you guys to think that, like, oh yeah, I decided to start your clan out in this shitty area so that you would never be self-sufficient. No, it's like
I mean, it's the Underdark. Realistically, everyone down here is going to starve to death. But we have magic, and it's a fantasy setting, and some of these people are weirdly wealthy and influential, so they can afford to literally like set up slave farming operations that import food to themselves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Anyway, so you start going over to Northeast Umarth, soon to be Northeast Umarth, and wandering about. Everybody roll Wisdom plus Perception for me.
Well, one of us is paying attention.
I guess as we're walking past this building, I like turn and I say, "Hey guys, I see something inside this building. It looks like a skeleton."
Take a look.
Yep.
It's in a book.
No, it's in a building.
Skelly
It's in the
Rainbow.
book, Skella Rainbow. Perfect.
Yeah, there's this long, squat building that looks like it used to have doors, but they have been removed.
Relocate.
Look inside and you see that, about 10 feet inside of this building, there's a skeleton laying face down on the ground.
Huh.
Check the scene.
Is it safe?
The scene is safe.
I
You
walk
should
it.
go walk in and poke it.
Check the victim. Are you okay?
Keep
It is a
coughing.
skeleton.
It's
The
not
skeleton is
responsive.
fine. Skeleton is not responsive. It's fine.
Does it have stuff on it? A bag? Fanny pack?
No, it is a skeleton. Just a skeleton.
But what is the skeleton's backstory?
Does the skeleton have a name?
Did it have a family?
Because if it doesn't have a name, we get to name it.
Hey, Nate, is this
Steven.
one of those I hate you moments?
Not yet, but it's getting there.
We have not.
No, the I hate you moment for this session is the fact that I prepared content for you guys trying to go bury Ganaves's body in the Dutanvir ancestral lands.
I thought we were waiting till after Gafflon, though.
Why would you wait until after Gafflon to do that?
Because it was only 5 days, and I thought this trip... How far away are the ancestral lands, by the way?
If you go directly, like if you cross the network of lakes here, then it'll only take you probably 2 days to get there.
I was under the assumption that this was going to be a 2-week trip.
We are not good adventurers.
What?
I don't think I've lost all sense of scale with the map of Chelelsus.
Well, it's a little faster to travel through the Badlands than it is to travel through the heart of the city, because the Badlands are not vertically built. You don't have to change.
Oh,
And also, again, as stated, some amount of what's over here is water. I'm trying really hard not to think about what amount, because I hate this map.
Yeah, the map is terrible. Don't worry about it. You can, if you get a boat, then you can go across with some speed.
well then.
But so there's this skeleton, see?
Anyways, is there anything interesting about the skeleton?
Well, it's face down.
I flip it
And-
over.
What?
Okay.
You flip. You pick up you flip the skull over. The rest of the skeleton is not attached to it. It does not move.
I'll ask poor York.
I knew him well.
You notice that the skeleton, being face down. Actually, I'm gonna message this to Nemeril because he's the one that makes sense. to
He
me.
has seen dead people before.
Dead people is the result of my primary function.
So, congratulations, Sylvia. You found a dead body in the ruins of war.
I mean, at least I found. I don't know what you want from me.
More dead bodies. Keep up the good work.
We're looking for dirt.
Well,
dead
is
bodies
the
was
dirt
my
here?
job.
Check the dirt. Is the dirt good?
Yarp is looks down at the bare stone floor, says,
Oh,
"Narp."
Narp. All right, so I look to see where the skeleton might have come from.
Okay.
All right, so this person died while running out of that doorway.
Demeril indicates a doorway, like an interior door. Like there's another room to this. Like there are other rooms in this building.
I open the door and I immediately get on the floor.
Okay. Kamina is now prone. The interior of this room is it stinks. Like smells very old and musty and damp. B, it's small, looks something like about the size of like a bedroom or a, like workroom or office or something like that. There's the remains of a stone desk, or maybe it's a bed. It's hard to tell. It's pretty wrecked up, and the exterior wall of this room has been destroyed. It looks like torn down.
Someone forced their way in here, it looks like.
I want everybody to roll intelligence plus perception. That is looking at this room, inside this room. So Kamina is in there.
We're doing a lot better now that we're paying attention.
Hey,
You said it was just Kamina right now?
I said Kamina at least.
Oh, okay.
So basically, if you're in the room, roll it. If not, don't.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not.
And I'll just say this out loud so I don't have to send it to two of you. The interior walls of this room are not bare stone, but it's textured. And the texture is very strange. It's wavy, and not wavy like somebody drew a wave pattern on the wall. No, like it looks like somebody carved the wall so that it has peaks and troughs to it. Like the wall itself, the surface of it, if you run your hand over it, you can feel the wall coming in and out and in and out and in and out as you go left to right.
Something like if you dropped stone in water and then just froze it.
Not like that, because that would create concentric circular rip. This is more like it's clear that somebody used earth sorcery, and it looks like they just took their hand and wiped it along the wall a whole bunch and were inconsistent. They didn't do like a clean sweep across. And it also looks like the pattern, like that sweep, doesn't cover 100% of the walls. There are bits, especially close to the corners, where it looks like they didn't go in and really make sure that they were wiping everything with this earth sorcery touch. And you can see that, like Nemeril, you notice this, there are carvings, pieces of words, a single letter. So somebody carved a whole bunch of things into the interior walls of this room, and somebody else broke in and erased all of it.
Well, looks like someone didn't think to be found. I looked outside the hole that's in the wall. It's like, I'm guessing there's nothing interesting.
It's an alleyway between a couple of buildings.
Mm-hmm.
To your left, the alleyway goes towards the street. It's about like 30 feet down from where you are. To your right, the alleyway goes into like a bunch of splits off in between a bunch of other buildings. Like this area was not built on.
Mm-hmm.
The houses are all just kind of the buildings are all just kind of crammed together, and a lot of them share walls, but some of them don't, and there are thin alleyways in between. So there's something of a maze. And back in here, it's something that you've noticed. Like this is just how a lot of these buildings were built around here. There was clearly no central authority deciding on grid lines or zoning or anything like that. People just building.
I checked around the desk and under the desk to see if I can find any carvings that haven't been erased.
Roll. No, I'm not going to make you roll. You're specifically looking at the desk. You find on the underside of the desk that there are still some carvings that have not been erased. You can't read them, though.
God, where's Fionlar when you need him?
I was about to be like, it looks like something a nerd would know how to read.
Wow, if only we hadn't quarantined all the nerds.
If I might,
It's like, hey guys, come and take a look at this. I flipped the desk.
For real?
Yep.
Gingerly.
gingerly
It
flip.
breaks.
Gingerly table flip.
Kamina table flips this desk and it breaks in half.
It's like,
Good job, Kamina. That's real impressive. Never seen
no,
you do that
no,
before.
on the desk, I like push the two pieces together.
What am I looking at?
Some nerdy shit.
Is there anybody who can read this? Then you're a nerd.
What languages do all of your characters speak / read?
Common.
Jillian, you mean?
Say, Chelian and Vanir.
I have a dot of linguistics for Vanir.
Just
Yeah, no,
Jillian for me.
All right.
Yeah, so none of you can really read this.
Uh,
Addy and Nemeril both recognize the alphabet, though, or rather, all of you recognize the alphabet. It's really close to the alphabet that all of you use. But yeah, none of you can read it.
Yarp, take a look at this. Can you read this?
Yarp comes over, is like, looks at you, looks at the carvings, looks back up at you. I know we've just met, but what in the name of Sharis makes you think I can read this?
Oh, you're foreign.
Foreign?
Wow.
Nukra.
I just shrugged.
Wait, I guess that does count as foreign down here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
we're not in Nukra anymore.
Well, we don't write that. Like, I can't read that. That's the
Huh?
point I'm trying to make.
It was worth a shot. Well,
Nate, out of character, it's not in my inventory, but would it be possible for me to happen to have paper and charcoal?
Can you give me an explanation of why Nemeril just carries around paper and charcoal?
Practicing,
I already did this explanation.
No,
Go on. Go on. Tell me. What is
no,
Nemeril
actually,
practicing?
no.
Now, Nebro
No,
has
what's
a
he
diary.
practicing? What's he practicing?
Actually, no. I'm gonna step back from that.
No,
one.
tell me what he's practicing.
Okay. I have a better idea. Okay, what I was going to say is that he's practicing sketching, his summoning his demon circles as per homework, from Addy Marca. It was what I was going to say, but better yet, he remember a while ago, when they were going through Houndrel's bag at school that I can't remember the name of at the moment. Orthobai, and Houndrel had stolen a notebook. And if they had pulled it out, I had the plan for Nemeril to snatch it away and say, "Houndrel, that's my diary. How dare you?" He just legitimately he has his diary. He has charcoal and blank pages in his diary.
Okay, but you have to write entries from Nemeril's diary and submit them like Houndra letters.
Okay.
Please do. I loved
Okay.
it.
You don't
Fair.
have to do it every session, but I expect you to do it a non-zero number of times and let you use that as a justification for why you have charcoal right now.
Okay,
Fair?
acceptable.
Cool.
Okay, then I'd like to take a
So-
rubbing of the symbols.
Cool.
Worst comes to worst, I was gonna just carry the table with me.
Because my suggestion was definitely going to be for Kami to just carry the table forever. And then we'll
It's
sell
in
it to
my
a nerd eventually.
inventory.
It's in my inventory.
It's like, it's a 200-pound table. It's like, yeah, my carrying capacity is 300 pounds. So what? Fuck off. Just like,
Okay, I picked it up and it just turned into a weird leaf with a hole in it.
Weird leaf with a hole in it?
Animal Crossing.
Oh.
Where you can just walk around with a pocket full of furniture.
It's like moving has never been easier when you can carry your sofa in your pocket.
Along with 5 other sofas.
Yeah, okay. So Nemeril takes a rubbing of this. It's difficult because of how Kamina done broke it, but you get it done. You have to like use several pages from your journal because the carvings are a bigger surface area. Like you can't fit it all on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper.
Okay.
Write that in your inventory, definitely, so we don't forget.
Mhm.
Yeah, I already notated. It's already been
Cool.
notated. Rubbing of strange symbols.
And we can either wait for one of our nerd friends to get back or try to mail it to them at Ortherby. I can't read it.
Well, that was a nice distraction. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we should remember this is here. Oh, I have the perfect emoji for this label.
What emoji indicates illiteracy?
Wingdings. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong.
I love this. There's a mailbox in this text. Let's see. Size 12 should be good enough. Move it over here.
That's good.
We even have the box. I'll make
So-
it. I hate the purple. It's a good font color for this pink.
So Homestuck.
I know.
Which I met someone at the event I went to yesterday who has cosplayed every single kid and every single troll.
That's
from
impressive.
Who has the time? That's so many cosplays.
This person comes from a rich family.
Okay. Because by my count, that's at least 32.
Yes, you are correct.
So, like, even doing, like, really low effort cosplays, just who
Oh, and-
has the time?
No, they showed me the pictures, and these were not low effort cosplays. It was honestly kind of intimidating to learn this about someone.
it's like that's a what is it? That's a weird flex, but okay.
A weird flex, but okay.
Cosplayed every kid from Homestuck. I'm done talking to you now.
Yeah.
I am afraid.
So yeah. What do you guys do now?
We continue looking for farmable land.
Cool. Everybody roll wisdom plus perception.
Sylvia with her special eyes.
I have special eyes.
Once again, Adimarca does not seem very interested in this project.
Looking at dirt is boring.
Do.
Okay, so everybody but Addie Marga, but especially Kamina. You notice that there are several other buildings where exterior walls away from the entrances to the buildings themselves have been torn away with earth sorcery, just like the room where you found that desk. When you look inside of those, you don't see the walls haven't been carved into. There's no evidence of like swipe marks or a cover up or anything like that. It's just rooms that have been torn into from the outside with earth sorcery. You still haven't found any dirt.
Is there anything tall nearby?
Not terribly tall. The highest buildings around here are like 3 stories.
Max.
It's like, that's decently far off the ground.
But not enough to survey.
This area is also not well lit. So even if you did get up high, your Drowloth companion's dark vision can't see the ground with any detail from those heights. And if you're only up on like the 2nd story, then you can't see over all of the other buildings.
It looks like this area is a bit too populated. Maybe we should head further north, further east, see if we can find some area that's not filled with the remnants of a civilization.
I mean, this is Chel-El Susaloth. Most of the land was claimed at one point or another.
Yeah, I'm at a loss of where to go. I don't know if we'll just keep coming across buildings over here. Maybe we should head further north, further east, further west. You and Kazna went west, right, Addy? Did you find any places, or was it most civilization the entire way there?
Better question. Does Addie Marco remember Did Adimarca bother to remember, take note of any of that?
Not really. I mean, I remember it generally speaking, but as far as like, do I remember there being any large arable patches of land? I don't remember that.
Do you remember what you and Cosna were trying to find?
Yes.
Dwarves.
Yeah, so proceed with your RP.
I mean, I mostly remember that trip, but we were kind of wandering aimlessly because Kazna wanted to find dwarves. We did not find dwarves.
I just like squint at you, like Kazna wanted to find dwarves.
Dwarves. Like, Fergar.
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember why?
He wanted to dig a tunnel to the moon.
Cosna isn't here, you can't correct her.
I know. In my
Okay.
head, I'm like, ask me that, stupid.
I'm only partially wrong is the worst part.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, I guess we just keep wandering. Maybe head north, head east, northeast, northwest. Does anyone have any better ideas?
I mean, we could just keep heading out towards the wishing well.
Yeah, I guess let's do that.
I don't have any reason for that suggestion. Adimarca is just
Addy just
sort
wants
of
to
wandering.
check on it, see how it's doing.
Maybe it's full of water.
Maybe it's full of dwarves.
Or dwarves.
You know, there weren't any in there before, but maybe it's like a trap. Maybe they fell in.
That's what he made. A 45-degree dwarf trap.
So, you continue on your way. Everybody roll Wisdom plus Perception. As you're traveling along, you come to a place where there are several buildings built up. There are several, 2 and 3 story buildings clumped in the same place. And as you're walking past, you notice that what looked like a clump of buildings from a distance is actually a rectangular, the buildings are built in a rectangle, and inside of the rectangle is bare land. And you see that, it looks very, intentionally like these buildings are built around this plot of land, and it's long and relatively thin, maybe 200 feet along the short edge, but it goes a ways, extending off to the northeast, not Umarth northeast, extending off that away. And it looks like somebody just decided that these buildings would be built to make this corridor, this long, thin corridor.
Obviously, we have to investigate.
Okay. As you walk, you approach the corridor, and there's a bit on the short edge where a couple of buildings have fallen down. You see what looks like, these 2 buildings sort of shared a wall. Maybe there was a thin alley between them, thin enough of an alley that Kamina could not have walked down it without turning sideways.
Mm-hmm.
And something those walls got knocked down, so the buildings have slumped in towards the same direction, and the roofs now make a shallow V in the ground towards the road.
Mm-hmm.
So you can climb over that to get into the section of bare land. Nemeril, roll your surface lore plus intelligence, or no, I think wisdom is what we usually do.
I have more dots in intelligence.
Okay, then do intelligence.
Oh boy, that's a lot of tens.
Yeah.
I've heard of this. It's called land.
Once you're across that wreckage, you all can see that there's actually dirt here. And there's, based on the fact that there's this musty, peaty scent to the air, and you see clumps of moss and lichens and mushroom, a couple of patches of wild mushrooms growing, that, hey, maybe this soil is actually good.
I don't like this.
Yarp looks at you and is like, "Why? This is exactly what we were looking for. Here, lean over." He like picks up a pinch of dirt and holds it up to your nose. Take a deep whiff. Smell that? That's healthy dirt.
That's good. I don't like this. I point on the ground next to where he picked up the dirt and point out the track. This, whatever made these tracks.
At first, it takes Yarp a couple of seconds to realize what you're pointing at, because you know that shot from Jurassic Park, like the old one, where the scientists are like in a hole and they're digging around and they find like little dinosaur tracks, and then the camera zooms out and then you see that they are standing inside of the like footprint of a much bigger dinosaur. I think that was Jurassic Park. That might have been something.
Yes. No, you're correct.
That camera angle, like
They did a very
Nemorel.
similar shot in Godzilla.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Godzilla. Yeah, that was probably the one that I was thinking of. Yeah. So Nemorel is like, guys. Guys. Proceed, Mark.
Also, those walls over there were pushed over in the same direction, probably by this thing, whatever it is.
Or who?
Dun dun dun.
I heard it in a movie. I thought it'd be a
That's-
cool line.
And that's where we're going to end on a cliffhanger.